Right friends, welcome back to Learning Space. Questions and answers, 36th week. Applications to operate prepaid payment instruments were halted temporarily till 28th February 2017. That means further licensing by Reserve Bank of India was temporarily halted till 28th February 2017. And the question here is, regulator for prepaid payment instruments is the Reserve Bank of India. Please don't forget the examples for prepaid payment instruments: smart cards, magnetic stripe cards, internet accounts, mobile wallets. Basically, these are used to access prepaid amount. Please look into this slide. These are all examples of prepaid payment instruments, and if someone talks about prepaid payment instruments, the regulator is Reserve Bank of India. Look at the next one. Government notified Real Estate Regulation and Development Act 2016 on 1st May 2016. Some of the clauses of this act were notified, and as per this notification, state governments are required to establish Real Estate Regulatory Authority in their respective states by 30th April 2017. That means from the date of notification, state governments have to appoint Real Estate Regulatory Authorities within 1 year. So, by 30th April 2017, state governments have to appoint this, and at the same time, registration of projects must be done with Real Estate Regulatory Authority subsequently, and the funds have to be maintained in escrow account, a separate account, and buyer's consent is required for alterations, and if violations are there, fines will be imposed. So, real estate customers will have better days in future once this real estate regulatory authorities are established by the respective states, and by 30th April 2017, all the states have to appoint real estate regulatory authorities. Look at the next one. Name the bank which is in the news recently for defaulting on interest payment on its Tier 2 bonds. This Tier 1, Tier 2, these come into picture when you are looking at capital adequacy ratio. And as per the Basel norms, our commercial banks have to ensure capital adequacy ratios as well as liquidity coverage ratio and net stable funding ratio. So, these three things are mandatory as per Basel norms, and the time schedule for implementation of capital adequacy ratio or capital to risk weighted assets ratio is 31st March 2019. That is one point. And total capital adequacy ratio to be ensured by Indian banks is 9%. That is the second point. Third one is, out of 9%, high quality capital, that is a Tier 1 capital, must be 7%, and balance can be Tier 2 capital. You may ask, what is the difference between Tier 1 capital and Tier 2 capital? Tier 1 capital is the highest quality capital, such as share capital or the reserves, and they are readily available to cover losses. If bank goes into loss, this 7% will be readily available to cover the losses. And Tier 2 capital, that is a supplementary capital that absorbs losses only in case of winding up of the banks. When banks go into liquidation, then only this Tier 2 will come into picture. But Tier 1 capital will be readily available to absorb losses, and Tier 1 capital must be 7%. So, this is all about Tier 1 and Tier 2. In addition to this, banks are required to maintain capital conservation buffer of 2.5%. So, this is all about Basel norms, and Indian banks have to ensure these capital adequacy guidelines by 31st March 2019. And Dhanalakshmi Bank This is a private sector, old generation private sector bank based in Thrissur in Kerala, and it issued Tier 2 bonds, and recently it is in the news for defaulting on interest payment on its Tier 2 bonds. This is all about this question. I hope you understood this. Look at the next one. World's largest producer and consumer of pulses is India. Last year, our production was around 17 million tons, and we imported around 5 to 6 million tons because our requirement is around 23 to 24 million tons. And this year, because of good monsoon, the production is expected to be around 20 million tons. At the same time, please don't forget, Government of India recently increased the buffer stock of pulses to 2 million tons or 20 lakh tons. Look at the next one. Look at the following mechanisms of money transfer. All of you are familiar. RTGS, this is for high value transactions. NEFT, this is for low value transactions. Then IMPS, this is mobile transfer. Then UPI, which was recently launched. And if you look at these four mechanisms, the question here is, which of the above is available on 24/7 basis? That means round the clock, which of the above are available? That is the question. And here all of you are well aware, RTGS is available only during specific hours of the day. At the same time, NEFT is also available during specific hours of the day, but IMPS and UPI, these two are available round the clock. So, IMPS and Unified Payment Interface, these two are the mechanisms which are available round the clock for money transfer, and this Unified Payment Interface is improvement, you can say, over IMPS. Look at the next one. 12th G20 Summit in 2017 will be held in Hamburg, that is in Germany, and 11th G20 was held in Hangzhou, China, and G20 represents 85% of the world economy and over 2/3 of the world population, and main focus of G20 is economic growth. And if you look at the 11th G20 Summit, which was held in Hangzhou, China, the theme for this year is towards an innovative, invigorated, interconnected and inclusive world economy. And we deliberated in detail in separate capsule with regard to G20. Please view that capsule. Look at the next one. Name our neighboring country which was declared malaria free. Sri Lanka was recently declared malaria free, and in entire Southeast Asia region, and please don't confuse, World Health Organization's nomenclature as far as the regions are concerned is different. We are in Southeast Asia region as far as World Health Organization is concerned. So, in entire Southeast Asia region, Sri Lanka became the second country to eliminate malaria after Maldives. So, Maldives is the first country to eliminate malaria, and now Sri Lanka became the second country to eliminate malaria. And malaria is mosquito-borne infectious disease. All of you are familiar with transmission by female Anopheles mosquito. And if you look at India, it was declared maternal and neonatal tetanus free. And what is tetanus? Tetanus is caused by bacteria, and it affects the central nervous system. That is one point. And India was recently declared free of maternal and neonatal tetanus. What is meant by maternal? That is pertaining to mother's health. And what is meant by neonatal? Neonatal means the period of 28 days after birth of the child. So, these two words, please don't forget. Maternal health means mother's health, and neonatal means the child's health from the time of birth up to 28 days. So, now India was declared free of maternal and neonatal tetanus. And at the same time, India was also declared as yaws free. You may ask what is meant by as. Please look into this slide. This is a bacterial infection, normally predominant in tropical countries, and it can be cured with antibiotics. And now India was declared free of maternal and neonatal tetanus. Not only that, India was also declared free of as. And one important point with regard to maternal and neonatal tetanus free is most of the deliveries are taking place in hospitals with proper care nowadays. That's why this tetanus was eliminated in our country, right? Look into the next one. Canonization of Mother Teresa was held in Vatican City. Please look into this slide. This is a St. Peter's Square in Vatican City. There this canonization ceremony was held, and now Mother Teresa became Saint Teresa of Kolkata within 19 years of her death. And the first step was beatification, that is after first miracle, and the second step is the canonization, that is after detecting second miracle. Look into the next one. Vibhuti Lahkar got the prestigious Heritage Heroes Award of IUCN. You may ask, what is IUCN? International Union for the Conservation of Nature. This is headquartered in Gland, Switzerland, and recently Vibhuti Lahkar got the prestigious Heritage Heroes Award because he is associated with the protection of grasslands, flora and fauna of Manas National Park area. What is meant by flora and fauna? Please look into this slide. Flora is pertaining to plants, then fauna pertaining to animals, and he is associated with the protection of flora and fauna in Manas National Park area, and this Manas National Park is in Assam. It is situated in Barpeta, and this is the region of Bodoland, and Manas is the name of the river, please don't forget, and it is a tiger reserve. Not only that, it is a World Heritage Site. And at the same time, I would like to remind you, IUCN, that is International Union for Conservation of Nature, publishes Red List. What is meant by Red List? Red List gives the conservation status of the biological species like endangered, vulnerable, like that. Look into the next one, that is Kamo KA 22060 light utility helicopters will be manufactured in India. This is a joint venture with Russia, and if you look at various defense deals with Russia, they are at various stages. First one is Kamo KA 22060 light utility helicopters. Please look into this slide. Second one is S-400 Triumph Advanced Air Defense Missile System. Then third one is INS Chakra. This is nuclear powered Akula class of submarine in lease with India. This also belongs to Russia. So these are three things, if someone asks, they belong to Russia. And if you look at defense deals with the United States of America, this Poseidon 8 Ice, please look into this slide. Then 22 Apache helicopters. Then 15 Chinook helicopters. So you are looking at the pictures of these, and these are the deals pertaining to United States of America. Look at the next one, that is Youth Abhyas exercises. These are the joint exercises of troops between India and United States of America. This Youth Abhyas, these are between India and United States of America troops being held at Chowpatia near Rani Khet in Uttarakhand. And if someone talks about Indra exercises, these are between Indian and Russian soldiers at Vladivostok, Russia from September 22 to October 2. Then all of you are familiar with joint naval exercises between India, United States of America and Japan. And These are known as Malabar exercises, and these were held recently in June 2016 at Okinawa, Japan. Look at the next one. Equitas Small Finance Bank started its operations. Equitas is headquartered in Chennai, and licenses were given to 10 entities to start small finance banks, and most of them are microfinance institutions. They are getting converted to small finance banks, and this Equitas, this previously microfinance institution, now started the small finance bank with headquarters at Chennai. And at the same time, please don't forget, Capital Small Finance Bank started its operations recently with headquarters at Jalandhar. Look at the next one. Which of the following is located in Tamil Nadu? Here 4 options are given. One is Kabini, second one is Krishnarajasagar, third one is Mettur, fourth one is Harangi. Out of 4, this Mettur Dam is in Salem district, and all the projects I am talking about are of Kaveri Basin. And if you look at the Kaveri Basin projects in Karnataka, first one is Krishnarajasagar Dam, then Harangi, then Kabini Reservoir, then Hemavati. So these are all in Karnataka Kaveri Basin. And if you look at Tamil Nadu, Mettur Dam, that is in Salem district of Tamil Nadu. Then second one is Kallanai Dam. Kallanai Dam, this is near Tiruchinappalli, and as the history says, the water diversion project in its original form was built by Karikalan Chola in 2nd century AD. So it is one of the very few water diversion projects in operation around 2000 years. So Karikalan Chola is associated with Grand Anicut near Tiruchinappalli, or you can say Kallanai. And if someone talks about Kaveri projects, Krishnarajasagar, Harangi, Hemavati, Kabini, these are in Karnataka. Mettur and Kallanai, these 2 are in Tamil Nadu. So these things please don't forget, because now Kaveri controversy is going on with regard to sharing of waters between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Look at the next one. India signed Memorandum of Understanding with Greece to allow unlimited number of flights in each other's countries. And here, National Civil Aviation Policy. Government recently announced National Civil Aviation Policy. This allows open sky air service agreements with SAARC countries as well as with the countries beyond 5,000 kilometers radius from Delhi. So this Greece became the first country with open sky arrangement under new civil aviation policy. Right, look at the next one. Which of the following is entrusted with the task of identifying public sector undertakings for strategic sale? Please look into the slide. Examples of public sector undertakings like NTPC, BHEL, Coal India Limited. These are examples of public sector undertakings, and some of the public sector undertakings are not performing well. And to identify public sector undertakings for strategic sale, you may ask, what is meant by strategic sale? Selling majority stake in public sector undertakings is the strategic sale. That means government will come out of management control. Government may sell 100% or may come out of management control. That is known as a strategic sale. If government sells 5%, 10% minority stake, that is known as the minority stake sale. But strategic sale means government will come out of management control or sell it entirely. The loss-making public sector undertakings will be identified. For that purpose, Niti Aayog was entrusted with the task. And the department which looks at the investment and disinvestment aspects of public sector undertakings is Department of Investment and Public Asset Management, or DIPAM. But the identification for strategic sale will be done by Niti Aayog. Majuli, the first island district in the country, was inaugurated recently. It is in Assam. and it entered Guinness World Records as the largest river island in the world. It bypassed Maracho Island in Brazil. And now the next step is to get the status of World Heritage Site. Please don't forget, this is already in the tentative list for World Heritage Sites. And look into the next one. First edition of Internet of Things India Congress was held in Bengaluru. What is meant by Internet of Things? The future is Internet of Things. Internet of Things is the networking of physical devices, machines and objects to transfer data over a network without human to machine interaction. When you are away from the residence, if you want to control the things in your residence, you can do them through networking of the things. That means various machines will be networked, and the ability to transfer data over a network without human to machine interaction is known as Internet of Things. Look at the next one. International Literacy Day was observed on 8th September, and this is the initiative of UNESCO, which established it in the year 1966. Basically, it is to tell about the importance of literacy to individuals, society and communities. And the theme is reading the past, writing the future. And please don't forget, literacy rate in India in the year 1951 was just 18%, and in 2011 it increased to 73%, almost fourfold in 60 years. Still a lot more needs to be done, that is different story, and the target by March 2017 is 80%. Look at the next one. Prabal Dostik 16 or the joint bilateral military exercises between India and Kazakhstan. They were recently held in Karaganda region of Kazakhstan. Basically, they will enhance interoperability and looks at counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency operations. Look into the next one. In the first ever BRICS Film Festival, recently first ever BRICS Film Festival was held. Tidhi Kannada film won the Best Film Award, and the director is Ram Reddy. Look at the next one. 14th ASEAN India Summit and 11th East Asia Summit were held in Vientiane, Laos. Look into the next one. GST Bill became a law with the President's assent, and President recently has given his assent as per Article 111 of the Constitution, and now it paves the way for the establishment of GST Council. And please don't forget, GST Council is headed by the Finance Minister of the country, and at the same time, now after President's assent, this became 101st Amendment Act. So, Constitutional Amendment Act 101 is with regard to goods and services tax, and all of you are well aware, goods and services tax will subsume most of the indirect taxes. The country's only NBFC, that is non-banking financial company, dedicated for funding of renewable energy projects. The country's only NBFC dedicated for funding renewable energy projects is IREDA, that is Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency Limited. If someone talks about IREDA, that is Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency Limited, that is under the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. At the same time, certain things please don't forget. Controller General of Patents, Designs and Trademarks, which looks at patents, is under the Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And at the same time, APEDA, that is Agricultural and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority, that is under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. This also please don't forget. And Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee, which looks at genetic modification of crops, is under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Look at the next one. India's first island district is Majuli, and we have already discussed about it. This island is surrounded by Subansiri river towards The northern side, Subansiri, is nothing but a tributary of Brahmaputra and main Brahmaputra towards the south, and Kirkutiaksuti is split channel of Brahmaputra towards northeast. And as I have already told you, it is the largest river island in the world, situated in Brahmaputra river, and it is inhabited by Mishing tribal people along with Devari, and it is the 35th district in Assam. Look into the next one. INSAT 3DR, which was launched recently, is a weather satellite. GSLV F05 launched this satellite, and GSLV series is different from PSLV series. We will discuss the difference between PSLV and GSLV sometime later. And if you look at the present launch, this is a 3-stage rocket. This GSLV is a 3-stage rocket, and the third stage is by the cryogenic engine, and this is the 4th flight with the indigenous cryogenic engine, but the first operational flight. So, this is the first operational flight with the cryogenic engine. What is the meaning of cryogenic engine? The meaning of a cryogenic engine is the fuel or oxidizer or both will be carried in liquefied form at very low temperatures. So, this is all about the cryogenic engine, and this INSAT 3DR, which was launched recently, is a weather satellite. Look at the next one. Name the country which claimed that it tested stealth defeating quantum radar. And sometime back, China launched world's first quantum communication satellite, or you can say world's first hack-free satellite was launched by China, and now China became the second country to test quantum radar, and quantum radar uses quantum entanglement photons to provide better detection capabilities. Basically, it will easily detect modern aircraft using stealth technology. What is the meaning of stealth? Stealth means it is difficult to detect, but this quantum radar will detect even the objects which are termed as built with the stealth technology. So, the objects which are not to be seen, which are known as built with stealth technology, will be seen with this quantum radar. Right, friends, look at the next one. Name the organization which launched OSIRIS-REx. This was launched by NASA. I have given the full form of OSIRIS-REx. And what is the purpose of this? The purpose is to collect samples from an asteroid Bennu. And this is the first mission of NASA to collect samples from an asteroid and return to Earth. And basically to look at the origin of the solar system. And please don't forget, this is the third planetary mission under New Frontiers program. If somebody talks about New Frontiers program, please look into this slide. New Frontiers program is a program by NASA, and so far 3 experiments have been launched. First one is New Horizons. New Horizons is basically to explore Pluto as well as the Kuiper belt. And you may ask, where is the Kuiper belt? Beyond Neptune, the belt is the Kuiper belt, and to explore Pluto as well as the Kuiper belt objects, this New Horizons was launched in 2006. Then all of you are familiar with the Juno. Juno is launched to explore Jupiter. All of you are familiar with the Jupiter. This is the largest planet in the solar system, and to explore Jupiter, this Juno was launched. Then now OSIRIS-REx, basically to explore asteroids. You may ask, where is asteroid belt? Asteroid belt is between Mars and Jupiter. So as to explore asteroids, this OSIRIS-REx was launched. So this is the third program of New Frontiers program by NASA. So if someone talks about New Horizons, this is to explore Pluto and the Kuiper belt, And if someone talks about Juno, this is basically to explore Jupiter, and Osiris Rex is basically to explore asteroids. Look into the next one. Stan Wawrinka won his first US Open men's singles title in 2016. He belongs to Switzerland. He defeated world's number 1 Novak Djokovic. Look into the last one. Angelique Kerber won 2016 US Open women's singles title, and she belongs to Germany, and she defeated Karolina Pliskova with 6-3, 4-6 and 6-4. Right friends, with this let us conclude questions and answers. Please do join for other modules. Have a nice day. Thank you.